What's up, CMQ CMQ investors? This is Chris Franco, and I have an interesting survey result here that a friend of mine passed along. It's about cryptocurrency and how different generations are looking at cryptocurrency or the crypto asset class and what they're expecting from it in the coming 10 years. So this poll or this survey was conducted by Investopedia. I'll include a link in the description as always. I always want to give credit where credit's due. But it's broken up here. I'm just going to focus on Gen Z, Millennials, and Gen X. The question was, where do you expect the greatest return on your investments over the next 10 years? The number one response from Gen Z was cryptocurrency. Millennials was also the number one response, and actually even more overwhelming, with 30% of those who responded saying they believe cryptocurrency would deliver the greatest return on their investments over the next 10 years. And then barely even dropping off, Gen X said the same thing. Cryptocurrency, number one. And I have to say, I don't want to rain on the parade. I don't want to be the stick in the mud. I just want to have this conversation because I think if we don't talk about it, then we're really setting ourselves up for a potential beating that we that we didn't see coming. You know, they always say in boxing, the punches that boxers don't see are the ones that knock them out. So, I think there's a decent analogy there. So why would cryptocurrency deliver the greatest return on your investment over the next 10 years? Not yours specifically, but just in general. Why would that be the number one answer across? Well, this is right off the top of my mind, but I have some good ideas. First things first is that we tend to extrapolate the recent past into the future. So crypto in the last, call it 5-10 years, yeah, if you look at a chart, it's been the best returning asset class, imaginable. So there's a human tendency to believe that will just continue on. When you see people crowd into something like Cathie Wood's ARK funds, sorry, Cathie, but no, when they crowd into her funds, it's because they're going off the past performance. Her past performance at one point was insane in a good way. And so people are, hey, I got to get in on that. The other thought is there's just so much unchecked promotion among some of these, and it's not the whole community at all. And I think I'm part of the crypto community. I'm talking about the pumpers though. I was watching that Bitcoin magazine conference, or watching the live stream of it. It took place in Miami. I think it was maybe a month and a half ago. And Michael Saylor was there, and he's saying,
you do not sell your Bitcoin.
But Cathie Wood was there, and she said that they're, if our research is right,
we have a price target in 2030 for Bitcoin of more than $1 million per Bitcoin.
So it's drumming up a lot of, it's creating a sort of narrative of itself. I currently don't own any Bitcoin. I owned Bitcoin until it hit 50, and I had the good sense to sell because I had no way to tell when would be the time to sell. It was just acknowledging to myself that I don't know what I have here as far as why the price is so ridiculously high relative to what I paid for it. And so I think rather than let Elon Musk tweet and have that, shift the price by 20%. And at the time, by the way, that's what was happening. I took my gains, and I don't regret it. I still own some Ethereum, but I did take profits on that as well. I would have been like last year at some point. So, I'm not the anti-crypto person that, one might think just based on my affinity for all things Charlie and Warren, but I definitely lean towards the idea that this is a huge speculative bubble, not the technology itself. I don't think this stuff is going anywhere. I think that we are in the early stages of you could argue, a revolution, where there'll be a lot of improvements, I think, made in the financial system because of blockchain, because of just the innovation that's taking place. But based on all the reading I've done on the different crashes and, trying to read up on all the manias, it's eerily similar to right now. But this has been going on for a long time. The thing is, no one ever can call a bubble. And I certainly don't want to see people get wiped out. But here's what I want to conclude with this thought. Right now, at least according to all the major financial media, there's a risk off, I guess this is what they call it, right? Where people are moving out of riskier assets in favor of things that are a little bit more conservative. The market's just been doing terribly over the last 6 weeks or so it's understandable. And, people are going to do what makes them feel good or makes them comfortable. But with that being said, that would include crypto. And I believe, and I don't have anything to base this on, this is totally just a gut thing, so don't hold me to it like it's extreme. But I have to believe that the crypto as an asset class will be first to be de-risked. People will flee crypto first. I could be totally wrong, but I think when people are making those decisions between, do I hold on to these Litecoin that I have, or do I sell my Apple stock? I think that equities will win over. Now, I could be totally wrong about that, and I could be wrong because it could just be easier to actually sell the stocks versus it's kind of a pain if you want to, be honest about it. It's kind of a pain to sell your crypto. A lot of fees. You got to go. Maybe you have a ledger. There's all sorts of, you got to move it from your wallet. It's not a click of a button. So who knows? But I wonder how this is affecting crypto. I haven't looked at the prices. Let's take a look at the price of Bitcoin right now. See what it's doing. Ooh, it's already down 1.92% today. So if I look at a 5-year chart of Bitcoin, yeah, I mean, it's incredible. 1 year, though, not so much. We're down 43%. Over the past year to date, down 30%. So it's, it is what it is. That's part of being an investor. If you look at this as an investment, this is just the volatility that you're signed up for. So don't let me make you discouraged. Although I have no doubt that there's little I can do to discourage anyone who's all in on investing in crypto. I just don't get it, though. I really just don't. I mean, maybe I'm stupid, but I've spent so much time really learning, internalizing, and thinking deeply about just what it means to own a piece of a business and how that creates value and how you can find better opportunities. And we all know, and this is not a controversial statement, that I'll stick to Bitcoin. Bitcoin produces nothing. It's a speculative asset, and the price that you pay for it is, what you believe is what people are willing to pay for it, and likely because they think they'll be able to sell it to someone else for more in the future. That's the only reason someone would have it, from an investment standpoint, and that's okay. But I think it's important we can say that, and you're not being anti-Bitcoin by saying that. I have to watch my back. I'll put my orange glasses on, make people feel like, hey, he's a Bitcoin guy. He's a Bitcoin guy. He's one of us, brother. He's one of us, brother. Hey, he's one of us, brother. Who knows what's going to happen with this stuff? When I was watching that Bitcoin conference, it was real cultish.
Over the past 2 years, I've been attempting to orange pill people in my life, as I'm sure many of you have as well. And my father and mother have been one of those. And I've been particularly effective with my dad, who incidentally I brought here with me to this conference, and it's amazing to see him witness all of this. I brought him to an event last night. He remarked to me, man, everybody's so positive. Everybody's so happy. Everybody's so humble. Everyone's so polite. Everyone's so smart. And I was like, yeah, that's Bitcoin.
And that just lends itself to that kind of like potential for a bubble because people aren't thinking. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. I appreciate you being part of this channel and listening here, and always just giving me a lot of motivation to keep on bringing content to you. I think we need to cover crypto. We need to be aware and be thoughtful about it and actively thinking about it because it's important. It's changing the world around us in pretty cool ways, and we'd be silly not to cover it at all. So would love to hear your thoughts. Have you made any good money in crypto? Let me know in the comments. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe, do all that good stuff. For CMQ Investing, this is Chris Franco. We'll talk soon.